All right, I got my man Jake on board, and it's funny, Jake, because we're going to talk about Thailand.
Yes.
But Kenny was saying, Mets, you need a co-host. You need a co-host. You suck, Mets. You need a co-host. Right?
Did he really?
No, he didn't say that. But he said, bro, how are we going to get to 60?
Yeah.
Right? And I said, all right, we're going to find someone. And obviously, you know, how I met you. And you know what? That Candace Warner one, one of the clips keeps going off on my Instagram. And Candace Warner was the one that introduced us to one another through Freeze Yourself, which we're going to talk about.
Yep.
But, you know, more importantly, everything we do, Jake, and everything we spend 10 days together. We're in the same room together with our now our good mate, like feels like a bit of a brother, Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been with me on a few road trips, Matt.
Yep.
This one was quite interesting. It was good for growth. There was a lot of debate going back and forth, but a good debate.
Yeah.
It was
Healthy.
more about our health.
Yeah.
It was more about our health.
Yep.
And, you know, we've done our second retreat in Thailand. And it's funny how fast this has evolved from the time I met you to
Yep.
where we are right now. And so today we're going to talk about, Freeze Yourself. We're going to talk about Isella with Callum and Tara. We're going to talk about Rafa from the garden and his beautiful wife, Tao, who absolutely cooked up a storm for us. We're also going to talk about Dana from Primal and Troopers and Air Hospitality and just how amazing it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake, we're going to talk about your experience, but we're going to also talk about my blood test at Isella and what that was like, right?
Yeah, cool.
So let's start with the guy that got us there, right?
Yep.
Rafa.
Yep.
Right? Like I was never going to do Thailand if I hadn't met someone like Rafa, because it just made the context that I needed, you know, with Joey, with the boat rides and all that kind of stuff,
Yep.
so much easier. And then obviously, you know, Jesse was going back and forth to Thailand, and Rafa was a big reason, and he put me in contact with Dana. But first I want to start with Rafa, because I think he deserves a plug, because what he was able to do with the menu, cook the way we eat, you know, he's a carnivore himself, so that made that a lot easier. And obviously he cooks with coconut oil and grass-fed butter, which is huge, especially when you're cooking, because mate, we were going all from the morning till night. Most of our mornings started at 6, and we wouldn't be back at our room at 9 till 9.
Easily.
So we were on the move all day. We had to recover to back it up and back it up and back it up, and we've done that for 10 days. What was it like for you being around Rafa, being around Tao? What was your experience like, Jake? Because you've been around a lot of people, a lot of different environments. What was it like for you?
It was new. Like, and I know that's probably a little bit cliche, but I'd never been to Phuket before, and obviously the people that I was able to meet through the retreat was unbelievable for myself on an individual level, and it showed me parts that probably I'd been taking shortcuts in, dietary-wise especially, you know, still venturing into breads and all that sort of stuff here and there, but 10 days straight carnivore, 2-day training, two-a-day training sessions, and then just having really healthy conversations with the people that were there, including yourself, your brother, Rafa. Obviously, it was great to connect with Dana and Callum. You know, just to hear the information that they have and just take it all in. I'm very grateful to go along for the ride, and I'm looking forward to what the future brings with it. And
you know, I never forget. You know, when I said I'm doing Thailand, and I was with you and Mez Trent Merrin, and you just said, mate, I'm coming. You made that commitment. Did it kind of exceed your expectation? Like, think about, like, I could have told you about Rafa. When you met Rafa, what was that like? What was that like? Just the guy looks like he's walking on water. He walks with a sense of calmness. He looks healthy. You know, he's in the entertainment business. He really looks after himself. What was that like? And obviously, like, hearing the stories of Tao and just understanding the island, you know, of Phuket and what it has to offer. You call it the land of giants.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a little inside story for all of us, the land of the giants. But Rafa is light. You know, he moves with intent. He speaks well. He's very approachable, and I think that's a very good personality to have. To be around him for, you know, most of the 10 days and just pick his brain about certain things, listen to his stories, gather information from him, and obviously have conversations about things that I enjoy too, which he is along in those sorts of paths and those sorts of realms as well. So it was, as I said before, it was just such a great experience, and going back there, I think next year, retreat-wise, our biggest learnings is, I think, how we structure and have everything in place perfectly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I got from it when we were sitting there talking, you, Maddie, and myself on one of the last days, and we were like, rightio, this is your role. This is your. We just sort of figured it out and let it unfold as the thing the retreat went on, and the next one, where it's at, what we're going to have in store, who's going to be there, it'll just continue to grow, and that's the thing I'm most excited for.
And Thailand kept giving, right? Because like then Rafa goes, I'm going to take you to Isella to meet Callum and Tara.
Yep.
Right. You walk into this place and I kind of knew what to expect. I knew there was obviously stem cell and the way they get it through your marrow.
Yep.
They want to get it from healthy people, and most importantly, the individual themselves. They want to see how healthy you are before they even, go to that next phase.
Yep.
Obviously, I got an NAC infusion to get my liver clean. They showed me the stats.
Yep.
There was a functional doctor in there that blew my mind, and how she thinks completely different to what we've seen anywhere. But what was interesting, obviously, I was freaking out from the needles, but
not that
what was
much.
interesting, and there was a lot that happened there, because we're going to go more into this, but where Maddie, and you've seen in the group chat, 2 days later against Mets, I've never felt this great. I don't know if it was the carnivore, the infusion, the test, but I feel like my health's going to the next level. What was it like for you going in there? Because for me, mate, I was blown away. Like from what I've seen and going, wait a second, we can help so many people through, the people that we've met, the people that we've networked with.
Yep.
But what was it like for you, especially when they recognised Freeze Yourself?
Well,
especially Callum.
Callum, the collaboration that's there to be able to be worked out with Freeze Yourself and what he does is unreal. The place that they work at and have created, I've never seen anything like that. The machinery, the people in there with all the knowledge that they have. Like you hear other podcasts, like as an example, like Rogan, they talk about these things, and you get a bit of a baseline understanding. But I was just in there in awe of it all.
Yeah.
It just the machinery that was there, what it's designed to do, all these other things, how precise they are with how they go about their business. It was very eye opening, and as I said, it's a point of difference for these retreats, because we'll be offering pure information on individual health on a cellular level, blood tests, all of it, and you'll be able to, when you come back to Australia, continue to push and grow in that area if that's what you choose to do, because it's always constant communication with them.
And what's amazing is, like, obviously, like Maddie and I got the test done, and they're going to do the telehealth with their doctors, and then obviously they can create scripts for people getting blood tests here, so that everyone knows where their baseline is. And what was interesting for me was when I was talking to Callum, and obviously he does the carnivore, I do the carnivore, and he's in tremendous shape.
Yep.
But what was interesting was that he's got the MTHFR gene, but within that, he's one of 6 people has this gene mutation that he has, where he can't absorb iron. And without the iron infusion, he could be training as hard as he wants and as hard as he wants and as hard as he wants. But without the iron levels being where they're at, he could do serious damage to himself.
Yeah. So
recognizing exactly where you are is of huge benefit. Like I had cortisol, level tests, I had lipid tests. It was 15 different blood markers there, and I'm gonna do the telomere one just to see exactly where I am. But I don't know if it was placebo, but after I did the NAC, especially with the rashes that I got from the tiger balm.
Go tiger balm.
To go tiger balm, never again. But how I felt coming out of there, knowing that I've got somewhere I can go to now.
Yep.
That I know, like, and trust.
Yep.
Because meeting them, and then knowing that Tara's uncle is behind it, the leading scientist, voted number 1 in 2024, but also getting the backing of Rafa, who's been in this space for such a long time. How does that give you the confidence and the ability to tell other people, hey, this is the place that you got to go to if you want to go to the next level, especially with your health and understanding what your blood biomarkers are?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We can, and I can individually, along with yourself and whoever went, we can say all these things and show them, but my biggest encouragement is come and be a part of it, because you don't really learn or take things in as good as you can unless you're actually there and putting yourself into a place of benefit. I didn't get the test done while we were there. I'm going to do that next time
Yeah.
because obviously I had a bit of a different role in that space,
Yes.
and I actually want to be able to do more than the one that you guys did. But
Yeah.
I found it also interesting, especially 48 hours after, as you said, Maddie saying, I don't know if it's this, I don't, but it feels like, even for myself, I didn't do that, but just the changes that I had, just due to my diet and how we trained and learning, I can be more disciplined in areas,
Yeah.
which is, that's an ego shock because we want to think that we're going well, and then you sort of see the way other people maneuver and where they are in their lives, and it's like, okay, well, if I want to get there, I've got to begin to learn and listen on how to get there because they're already there, but then I want the information to be able to know about this sort of stuff. So the biggest thing for myself on an individual level moving forward when I do push this out there is my feeling is, if you want to change yourself, come and be a part of it, and you'll see. Then all of a sudden you take the information and go, oh, I can be better here.
Yeah.
And then that's when the growth starts.
And it's all about the 1%ers. Like, if you're looking at it like, and how I look at it is like this: doesn't matter what level you're at, what standard you're at, whether you're just a person that's just starting out, or you're a person that's intermediate, or you're a high level sports person that wants to go to the next level. We've got absolutely the answers for everything to get the individual to the optimum levels that they need to be at to perform at their best.
Yes.
When I was there, and I'll mention this story, but Tara said, her levels of, because she wanted to have kids.
That's right.
And I think it was at, she was at one. She was at one. And through the different modalities that they had there.
Over 12 weeks, I think she said too.
Yeah. And with all the different things that they've done over there, and they've got the science to back it.
Mm-hmm.
And the technology is only improving.
Yep.
Her egg count went from 1 to 17.
Yep. In the space of 12 weeks. Yeah.
12 weeks. So
which is unheard of. That's what she was sort of saying too, like because of the way that she changed her diet and all that sort of stuff.
The way she changed the diet, the infusions that she had to get, and all the things that she'd done, which was quite remarkable because, there's not enough places that have these answers. And so if you're trying to have kids and you want to go down the IVF route, this place is the place to be able to get you there. Whether you're a male or female, they can see where your count is.
All of it.
You know what I mean? And obviously help you enhance that. But what did you think about the way they do their stem cells as opposed to how other places do it? And they were explaining that, right?
Well, the thing is, I'd only ever heard things. So when I had the opportunity to sit with Callum, they have the direct shot that they can put in a certain area, or they can intravenous was the word, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Put it in, and it goes to if you've got a couple different injuries in different places that want to take the inflammation down. I just found that interesting, and he's someone that has the answer to your questions, because to sit there and have those conversations and him just rattle off the information, it's a place you want to be around if that's something you're looking to go into.
Yeah. And, when we were sitting there, they also had the doctor there with us as well.
Dr. Jan.
Dr. Jan, that was, there helping and answering all the questions.
Yep.
It was almost surreal. Like, it's funny, I had these visions in my mind for many years, and it was exactly all of what we received and seen in Thailand.
Yep.
It was almost every single answer was coming to me. It's funny, I was thinking about this for so many years, bro. Like, I mean, I reckon I can go back to 2020 when I was thinking of all these things. I reckon 2018, 2019. And it's all of this at that point felt so far out of reach. But to be able to do it and I can see it much clearer of where we're going and where we're taking things. And even if you look at my vision and my mission, it's to make people feel better than they've ever felt through the different retreats where we do the programs and all that kind of stuff to help people. So that was like kind of a surreal moment for me to be able to have the ability and the contacts overseas to educate and help people. I'm not the expert in everything, but we've got a lot of the right people around us now.
Yeah, very fortunate.
Yeah. We had quite many moments with Dana, didn't we?
Yes.
What a human being she is, from Primal and Troopers and the hospitality she showed us in both those places. But more importantly, how giving she was.
Yes.
She was like a mother figure to everyone in there. Did you feel that? Did you feel that energy?
I fully agree.
Yeah.
I think her story is very powerful. It'd be great to have a conversation with her at some stage if she feels comfortable, because I think it's something that a lot of people will resonate with, you know, to just allow her to allow us to be a part of what she's doing, then obviously have conversations with you in regards to what her goal is with the gym and all these other things, and then to sit there and have a conversation with her about some subjects that I find interesting and, you know, she does as well, in regards to, you know, energy and how you know, behaviours of people and things like that. And just to sit there and have a conversation with a strong woman like that, it's very humbling.
What I loved about Dana, you know, it's funny because I went there 8 weeks prior, right? Well, 6 to 8 weeks prior, and Dana helped out a lot. And at that point, but she was a bit standoffish at that point, which I totally get. You know what I mean, like, who the fuck's Mets coming from Sydney? You know, and because obviously they've had so many people come from Sydney.
They did.
Australia, New South Wales, you know, and I think it was the second last day, and Nadia was there.
Yes.
And I walked in, and it's funny because I said to Nadia, the first time I went to Primal, I was seeing you running around everywhere. And I could see, like, okay, you know, this girl's attention's there. And she said, it's funny because once we start to know each other, we're a bit more honest. I go, Nadia, what did you think of me? She goes, Mets, you look a bit intimidating. But then she goes, you know, Dana really likes you guys. And I think, you know, when you don't push things on people, you know, you get to see, if you don't become pushy and you show your actions, and obviously they're looking at our social media in Australia and Titan Fitness, it creates a much better relationship.
It does. And curiosity builds off the back of that. You know, and they allowed us into their space. There's also Madeline, who's over there as well. There's a group of women over there that are just about it. They're just out there having a crack, and it's really cool. And we're fortunate, mate. Like the gym at Primal, outstanding the way it is, but they're also looking to knock it down and create something that's going to be out of control.
It's going to be huge.
And that's where you came in, because she asked you for some advice. So, you know, it's just all about building together and collabing and, you know, sharing ideas and dreams and seeing where it takes us.
Yeah, 100%. We had Freeze Yourself there, and what I loved about that whole process with Freeze Yourself was just how Callum was and how he wants Freeze Yourself to work with his retreats, and they look absolutely amazing themselves. It's like I'm looking at them going, fuck, I want to go to one of those. How did that feel when Callum approached you to do work with Freeze Yourself? What was that like?
It was very humbling, because I've also got a story about yesterday, but it's surreal when you are a part of something and it begins to gain momentum. You know, like I've been involved with certain things, but I'm more entrenched with this, obviously, because Trent's brought this idea to life, and I'm able to be a part of it, and the work that we've put in behind the scenes, that, you know, that was for him and I to be able to do and to see how it's starting to take shape now, and people to recognise it and know it. You know, it's still in the very early stages with Callum, and it will build and it will take off as it's supposed to. But to sit there and talk to him about the product that my mates brought to life, which I'm a part of, it's very humbling. I was very excited when I was sitting there talking to him, and even yesterday when I drove around Coogee after I was with you, drove to a couple of gyms to begin to push our barbs out there, because we're ready to be out and be of service to everybody that wants to ice plunge. The gyms that I went to were aware of us.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, like even though I walked in the shirt of that, but they're like, oh, we've seen this and that. It obviously helps with the profiles that Trent, Gareth, and obviously who's killing it at the moment, Zachy Lomax, that they're a part of Freeze Yourself. That obviously does help that a lot. But for myself, to be able to go to these places and they recognise Freeze Yourself or want to talk about it, it's very cool.
Yeah. And what was great about Callum, obviously, he was very interested in Maddie's calisthenics.
Yes.
And obviously, you know, he's got a lot of different skill sets, Maddie, and to be able to do the myofascial release, but more so the calisthenics. And, you know, Matt is going a lot harder at it now, knowing that, plus with his health. You spent a fair bit of time with Matt as well. We might as well mention him. What was that like? Because he's done retreats all around the world. And I guess towards the end, we made sense of all the jargon and the conversations that were going through and filtering through about where we want to go next. We may as well stay a quick plug, because obviously we're talking to him at the moment. We went and trained there. We jumped in the sauna, the recovery areas. What was that experience like going to stay?
Well, it was at stay, or do you want
Yes.
to talk about Maddie?
Well, both of them, both versions, because Maddie's whole thing was if we do it at stay,
Yep.
and we were going back and forth in that conversation.
Yeah, we
and
were.
You could see
For a couple of days,
I was
actually.
arguing with, not arguing with him, but I was debating him.
Yeah, healthy
But then,
conversations.
but then I understood more because it's more of a controlled environment, and we trained in that gym.
Yep.
I mean, I still had the races. I wish I was there at the front load. I reckon if we front loaded that place, we would have knocked it out.
Yeah. Well,
How was that?
with stay to start off with, when I first went there with you and we had a look around, I was like, this place is perfect, right? To have it, it's the one-stop shop.
Yeah.
It's high end. It's actually a beautiful place, and you can do everything there that needs to be done, training wise, recovery wise, diet wise, team building wise, individual confidence wise. We can put, and we are going to put, a great program wrapped around that specific place, while also venturing out and going to our other little spots that we're well aware of now. And I can't wait till we begin to push the content around stay, because I think that will give people a little bit of a download on how big this is actually going to be in the years to come. With Matty, I was fortunate enough at the start when I first met him, we actually got to spend some time in the business lounge.
Yep.
He got us in there and we had a chat, dude, and Matty's a powerful guy. He's done a lot of things. And as you said, I think not just for Matty, but when he's gone there, seen it, for myself, the same sort of thing. Been involved for 10 days and then bringing what he learnt there, or if he had learned anything, or puts him back on the right track, bring it back here. He's just going to take off and be such a big asset to what we're all doing, because he's ultra smart. He's got all these skills. He's going to be up here next week. We'll all have a training session together and begin to really be creative with what we're going to be doing.
And I just want to make a mention, like, and he was going through a bit of a rough period.
Yeah,
there
he was.
Because,
Family
passed away overseas, and he was organising all that. But you know what's amazing? He was doing all of that, focused on his health, and what feels good for me, and I'm sure for you, is him coming back after not feeling the best. Fuck, he's a strong dude, bro. He was fucking putting on a good exterior.
Yeah, bro.
But then, like, to come back and message us and go, bro, I fucking feel mad.
Yeah.
I feel unbelievable. I've got a new lease of life. You've seen the kind of the work I do now.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel going, fuck, man, this is amazing, man. So I feel like I'm in the right place. We're going to push it to the next level. And look, we executed pretty quick, because this wasn't in the plan today to do all of this. But for
Needs
me,
to
you
be
know
done.
what, bro? We talked about this overseas, and we're going, what are we going to do for the first 10 episodes?
Yeah.
And what we're going to do, and this is for everyone, we're going to educate people on the experiences that we just had. But more importantly, we're going to bring people on here that we're going to interview. We're going to talk amongst ourselves on the value that we're going to add into people's lives.
Yes.
And that's the number one thing we're going to do, is give you guys the tools to add the value that's necessary for your health, but also the focus that you need, depending on where you want to go in life.
Yep.
But everything starts with health, training, discipline, and the focus that is necessary to not only finish the year strong, because we talked about finishing the year strong, but also going into 2025 with a renewed enthusiasm to take on the world.
Yep. It's about creating the lifestyle and being the person you want to be. Now, we're always learning. I've learnt so much stuff about myself, just in the last recent days. I had a chat to myself and wrote some things down, as we did yesterday, just in regards to like what I actually want to do and who I want to be. And I have a clear path from that now, from going to the retreat, because I feel, for me individually, I thrive in solitude. Now I'm a lone wolf.
Yeah.
I enjoy my own thoughts and how I want to do things and how I want to process things and how I maneuver. And I think that being over there with what we did in a full circle moment was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
Like, before we went over, I was starting to lean into it, but I fully jumped in now. And then obviously being a part of up here, what I'm, with you now, which I'm very grateful for, to be up here at the back end of weeks and beginning to learn about all the things that happened here and being involved in it, and all the lovely people here that are the staff and the members of the gym. It's just, it's something I want to be a part of, and moving forward, I'm ready to rock and roll with it.
Yeah. Well, mate, I think we've covered everything from Primal, Troopers with Dana, Rafa with The garden, obviously, Candy as well. Candy was absolutely amazing.
What a joint.
What a joint Candy is.
And the garden, the feed.
Yeah.
Every day we were getting fed like warriors.
Unbelievably well.
It just the meat that was coming out, the eggs, the fruit, the staff there.
Yeah.
Everything was 5-star. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. And then, Callum, Isella.
Yeah.
And also the individuals that also got so much out of Thailand, and we'll connect with them next time.
Yep.
But for now, this is episode 1 with us.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's going to be episode 43.
Yeah.
There's no fucking season 2.
Nah.
There's just fucking numbers, bro.
It's just episodes.
Get the fucking numbers up. That's it.
Attack.
And we'll talk about my funny blow-ups on the next episode, I think.
Yeah.
But they were honesty sessions.
Mate, there was
Honesty sessions.
some people got double-barreled. And
Double-barreled,
it is what it is. We've all been spoken to, or been spoken to in a certain way, and sometimes it helps us, and sometimes we take it the other way until we do learn about that.
We'll leave the people hanging, and we'll talk about that in the next episode, right?
Let's do it.
Is that something we'll
I like that.
Yeah, well, let's keep them hanging, and you'll hear about my honesty sessions and how it helps people.
Yes.
Over and out. Thanks, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.